All right, everybody, welcome back to Kitchen Science. Today, we're gonna go ahead and make baby back ribs. All right, everybody, here are the ribs. We went ahead and smoked two different ways. If this looks like something that you wanna go ahead and check out today, please go ahead and continue watching. Stay tuned. Not only am I gonna show you how to make the ribs two different ways, but I'm gonna show you my 5 tips and tricks to make your family and friends think you hired a professional pit master to make the ribs for them. All right, everyone, so these are our ribs that we went ahead and are going to use today. They're Smithfield, they're baby backs, they're about 34 a pound. I got them at my local Walmart. We're going to go ahead and we're going to build these guys two different ways. Both racks are going to go ahead and get the rub that we're going to go ahead and make, but then the difference is going to be in their finishing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take the ribs, and one set of ribs is going to go ahead and go in aluminum foil with a little bit of butter and a little bit of brown sugar to finish its cooking on the smoker. The other rib is going to go ahead and be left open to the elements where it can continue taking in even more smoke. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get to the rib cleaning. Now we want to go ahead and pat and dry. Make sure you pat dry all sides. All right, everybody, so as you can see, these two sets of ribs are pretty similar to one another. They both have a decent fat cap on top. They're both sitting around the 2-3 area. I can walk through what 2-3 actually means. It's where they sit on the animal. If you guys like, please go ahead and comment down below. If I flip them over, they both also have their membrane still sitting on them, and they both still have the chine bone removed. So ribs, as a general rule of thumb, don't really need much done to them. You'll notice that we've got our crown side up here. We've got a decent amount of fat here, so what we'll end up doing is, because there's a decent amount of fat sitting here, when we start the cooking process, we'll actually start them down so that they can start to render that fat below. On the other side, as you can see here, we've got a little bit of skirt / belly meat kind of attached here. We want to go ahead and take this off, and then there's also a membrane sitting right here. I like to take it off. I know that it's a big controversy in the barbecue world, but for me, I want to eat the entire rib, so I always try to take all of this off. Okay, so for our first rib, we want to go ahead and take this off. Now, when you clean these, you've got the two sides. You've got the one side where we have the skirt piece attached, and then we have the opposite side. The opposite side is where you want to go ahead and start to break these guys down. So you'll notice that this is where our membrane is sitting right here. I pulled it up a little bit with my finger. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a paper towel. And I'm going to pull the rest of it off. Now, the other thing you want to notice about the rib is that on this side, it's pretty thick, pretty girthy. We don't really have an issue. So this side's going to go ahead and take a longer time to cook than this side is. But we have these tiny little bones sitting over here. We want to go ahead and we want to cut that off and clean it up so that it's not only does the smoke permeate it more uniformly, but so that it also cooks a little more uniformly as well. And that's it. That's our little piece with a little bit of bone sitting right there that we took off. All right, now this is our second rib. Again, this is the same thing. We've got a decent amount of fat sitting up in here, but there's not really anything else we want to go ahead and pull off of here, so we're going to flip over to the other side. We're going to start at this side right here. You can see that it's already started to go ahead and pull up. We're going to get another paper towel. We're going to pull this back so it's all the way gone over here. There is a little bit of skirt meat right here. And now that little piece of skirt meat is gone, so let's go ahead and let's get this guy pulled all the way off. All right, this guy doesn't really have that little bone problem like we had before, so we're going to end up leaving this one on. All right, everyone, so this is what's going in our ribs today. This is our brine. So we have 8 parts brown sugar, 3 parts salt, 1 part black pepper. Now, this is called the 8-3-1 method, +1. So this is our +1. This is going to go ahead and be some green curry paste. To that, we're going to continue to add additional +1. So we've got another 1 of smoked paprika, cumin, and garlic powder. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take all of our products, we're gonna pop them into our RoboCoupe, and we're gonna process them for about 30 to 45 seconds. All right, now we're gonna start adding our rub. You'll notice that it's very, very sticky and wet. This is normal. It likes to suck up moisture. It's a very anhydrous product. It'll actually help hold onto the rib better this way. I'm not a fan of using binders, especially with a sugary sauce like this. What I like to just go ahead and do is cover the meat on all sides. And then I flip it over and I do the other side. Same idea. Get everything pretty much covered. All right, everybody, so here's our ribs. They've been sitting for about an hour now. You can see how well that cure has permeated in. All of this dryness will be gone when we go ahead and pop them on the smoker tomorrow. Stay tuned. Oh yes, one last little thing. These are gonna end up going in my refrigerator in open air like this on these racks so that they can properly dry out, so that that sweet, salty, aromatic cure can go ahead and build into that meat on both sides. Time to put the ribs on the smoker. A couple splits. All right, everyone, here's our ribs. They're about to go on. You'll notice, I wanted to just show you this real quick. See that amount of liquid coming out right there? That's all that beautiful liquid that all the salt and sugar pulled out. So these guys are going to be nice and flavorful and ready to go on this pit. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and get the ribs on the pit. You'll notice that the pit is nice and smoky. We've got all that beautiful blue smoke coming out. So when you put the ribs on, you want to try to make it so that the thicker part of the ribs are in the back and the thinner part is in the front. We do this because a lot more heat's coming out of the back than in the front because of the way that we have the convection plate set up in here. So doing this properly will ensure that it cooks well. All right, everybody, we're about 2 hours in. The left rib is temping around 135 and the right rib is temping around 138, but we got to give them a little bit more time, so we're going to check back again in about an hour and see where they're at. All right, guys, it's been another hour and a half. It's been 3 hours total. We're sitting around 260 Fahrenheit. These look great. You'll notice we've got some great fat rendering going on right there. All right in there. Yeah, these look great. All right, buddy, everyone, here's our 2 pats of butter. It's probably close to about 3 tablespoons. We're going to grab our ribs. Oh, yeah, these are nice and jiggly. Look at that. Then have some leftover liquid. I'm going to call this the rib cure. This would be the equivalent of barbecue sauce. Pour that all on there. All right, everybody, so you see we've got our sauce in here. Everything's ready to go. So when I wrap ribs, I like to double foil them like so to make sure that everything stays in. So what I do is I like to roll up like this and make almost a teepee kind of effect and start to spin it this way. I then like to go to the ends and do the exact same thing and kind of roll them up like so. And roll them up like so. And I like to use double foil, that way everything stays in there. So if one of the bones does happen to go ahead and pop through here, it doesn't end up being that big of an issue. So we're gonna pop it back on the grill, just like so. All right, everyone, it has been a total of 5 hours. Look at those ribs. That looks amazing. All right, everybody, so here's our ribs. You'll notice that we have the 2 different types. We have the 100% smoke, the big green egg for up to 5 hours, and then we have the ones that went for 2 hours on the big green egg, and then we went ahead and wrapped them in foil, and we let them go for another 3 hours and let it finish sitting on the egg until it was nice and soft and tender. It is amazing how tender both of these sets of ribs are. All right, everybody, it's time to go ahead and try our ribs out. So you'll notice I have both of them sitting right here. You know, it's down there. They did get a little bit charred. I could have wrapped them a little bit, but I think that they're still probably good and ready to go. Let's go ahead and chop them up. Oh, that looks pretty good. Good smoke ring on there. Still nice and juicy. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and grab the foil wrap ribs with all that lovely juice. They look pretty good. Good fat rendering. Flip them over. Oh, yeah. These look great. Let's go right for a middle bone. Oh, yeah, look at those. Nice and squishy, nice and juicy. All right, everybody, here are our 2-way ribs. This is the first one. This is the second one. So this is our wet one. This is the one that went ahead and has all of this leftover lovely juice. And then we have the dry one sitting over here. That's that guy sitting over there. You'll notice a chunk of the top came off. So I did go ahead and they did get overcooked just a little bit, but they still taste really, really good. You can see how well that smoke ring defined it in there. And they're still super duper duper juicy all the way through. Same thing over here, great smoke ring, nice and juicy all the way through. So this is what we're looking for here. Let's give them a bite. Let's try them out. Well, that looks really, really good. Ain't nothing wrong with that rib. That is fantastic. It's very, very juicy. It's very, very supple almost. There's a lot of good liquid in there, but it's also really, really tender. Let's go ahead and try this guy out next. Same idea. Super duper juicy. Great smoke ring. Let's try it out. Wow, these ribs are amazing. Every time I make them, I think that they're fantastic. Do I think that they're better than the ones in the oven? They give a great smoke flavor that it's really, really hard to go ahead and duplicate. At the same time, though, they're completely different. from a flavor standpoint. I actually really do like both of them. I think I might like the ones in the oven a little bit more that I made previously, but if you went ahead and made these, this is still a phenomenal product. Isla, what do you think?
I think this is delicious.
There you go, everybody. It is 8-year-old approved. All right, also, here is the pan drippings left over from the ribs that were cooked in foil for almost 3 hours. And you'll notice that it's got a lot of great body and texture to it. There's a little bit of oil coming off of it. But whether or not I utilize the dry or the moist ribs, you can take any one you want, pop it in here, and it's going to be amazing. Anyways, if you like this kind of content, please go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to, please go ahead and smash that like button. And as always, if you want to see content like this, go ahead and continue. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Have a fantastic barbecue week.